What's up everybody, welcome to Money Management channel. My name is Andrei and today I'm gonna be doing an update on Baba stock.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed, born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up.
And in today's video, first of all, I will show you where we are on a price chart and how we get there. Then I will continue with the fundamental news and I will show you what news might be very important for this asset for the medium and long-term perspective. And I will show you what should you do in order to benefit out of this news. And at the end of this video, I will share my thoughts and my technical analysis. And I will show you what should we expect next. So let's start with the price chart. I made my previous video right here at this point, and I've told you that most likely we've completed 5-wave structure to the downside. And I have to say that I caught several recent movements of this asset, and I caught it basically to the tick. And here my main assumption was that we have a decent chances to hit higher targets, but for this case we have to put our stop loss order at this point, slightly below this previous swing low, and with the anticipation that we might hit this previous swing high. And I have to say that we hit our stop loss order, and guys, no doubts about it, but no one can predict 100% of the movements of certain assets, and it is totally okay. The maximum downside that you could have is less than 2%, depending on your doubling down position and depending on the range of your stop loss order. But in general, I have to say that this asset, as you can see, respected this line that previously was the line of support. We touched it here, we touched it right here, then we broke it to the downside and retested from the bottom as the range of resistance. And this range of support and resistances is nothing else but the lower border of this channel that I drew back in the days, and you can watch a lot of my previous videos where I described how you can predict or how you can at least know about the potential price action of certain assets. And by the way, guys, if you want to know more tips and tricks from the technical standpoint, feel free to add to my Patreon account and be the first who enter it, and in this case 100% of my time will be dedicated for you alone. So, and let's continue with the fundamental news. What is the news that might be important for this asset for upcoming weeks and months? Let me show you this article that was published on Barron's just a couple of days ago, and it's titled Barron's 10 Favorite Stocks for 2024. So, and let me show you this news. Alibaba is one of the cheapest tech-oriented companies in the world by a long shot. After dropping 18% in 2023, Alibaba's US-listed shares trade for just 8 times projected earnings in its current fiscal year, ending in March. With that decline, the stock at recent $72 price point is back where it stood following its 2014 initial public offering, despite a tenfold rise in revenue and a 5-fold increase in earnings. Its market cap is less than 15% of its closest American peer, Amazon.com. And this is the crucial fundamental point because for now, Alibaba by itself as a business is worth much more than the number of its shares multiplied by the value of these shares. And this is the crucial point. So, the company sits on a small mountain of cash equal to a third of its current market value of $184 billion. Adding in its core Chinese e-commerce unit, its cloud computing and logistics businesses, and a stake in Ant Financial, the sum of the company's parts comes to about $130 a share, nearly double the current stock price, according to analysts at China Merchants Securities in Hong Kong. And guys, let me show you this news as well. If you click on this tiny icon, you can find the latest one of the latest news right here. And here is the article that was published on Guru Focus on December 15, and it's titled From Setback to Opportunity, Munger and Alibaba. And we know that Charlie Munger, he passed away just a couple of weeks ago. He had a huge position in Alibaba. And here is the list of his purchases. In Q1 of 2021, he bought 165,000 shares, with an average price of more than $245. Next one, Q3 2021 purchase of 137,000 shares at price point of slightly below $182. Next one, as you can see, he incrementally added to his position, and the lower the price goes, the higher amount of buys he had. And the most recent one, he sold a part of his shares in Q1 of 2022 for the price of $115.21. But he still had a lot of shares on his account. And he said in one of his interview that it was his mistake, and no one is perfect on a stock market. And that's why he was a bit upset about his investment in Alibaba. But in general, his position is still there. And let me show you that if you take a look on other major analytic companies that made the recent updates on Alibaba stock, you can see that all of them had quite substantial price targets, highly above its current price. And the consensus analyst price target is $129.2, which implies from its current price about 73.4% of upside potential. On top of that, guys, take a look on the list of their institutional investors. The latest filings that were made just recently shows that we have quite cautious interest to this company. On top of that, let me show you this chart. It is an Alibaba Group Holding Limited institutional ownership. And right here, you can see that we have less and less sales from so-called smart money companies. And this means we are nearing the bottom from the fundamental standpoint. And this means this company might have its trend reversal to the upside in near-term perspective. And guys, from the technical standpoint, and by the way, before we dive deep into the technical analysis, please subscribe to my channel, hit notification bell and hit the like button. This helps me a lot. From the technical standpoint, we also have very bullish sign. First of all, we have a double bottom pattern. We hit the round number of around $70 mark, and we bounced out of this range and we broke several previous resistances. Let me show you this in details. So, as you can see, as already mentioned, this range, the lower border of this channel, previously it acted as a range of support, but everything that was a support becomes a resistance and vice versa. And we had several touches of this range. As you can see, the last one was made on December 13, and we broke it to the upside. And take a look on the volume for this breakout. It is much higher than the previous volume during this consolidation phase. And it was the real breakout. On top of that, it hit the next range of resistance, had a reaction, and with the next attempt, it broke it to the upside. Then retested from the top as the range of support and went higher. Guys, and this structure is a very indicative, because first of all, it has a clear 5-way structure from its lowest point, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And this structure, this movement to the upside has an increasing volume, and this is very good sign. And this point might be a very interesting point if you want to enter the position. And if you want to do it, please accumulate your position incrementally to the downside. And in this case, your stop loss order should be slightly below this bottom, which implies, depending on your average price, depending on your doubling down, in worst case scenario, it might be up to 6%, but in best case scenario, and let me show you that the lowest point where you can stop to accumulate your position might be at around $71.8 mark. From this point, you might be down for about 2.66%. But the upside potential for this asset might be really massive. Because if you zoom out to a daily time frame, you can see that we have a lot of bullish signs, like a volume, like a movement to the upside with a breakout above the ranges of resistances. And on top of that, the weekly time frame shows a huge bullish engulfing candle. On my previous video, I've told you that this candle is pretty much undecisive candle, and we have to see a movement to the upside with the decent volume in order to confirm this certain outcome. And it happened. Huge engulfing candle with a decent volume. It is not the highest one if you compare it with the latest volumes, but it is much higher than these quite a few number of weeks if you compare it by the volume. And that is why just accumulate your position during its potential movement to the downside, and the upside potential is really impressive. So I think that's all information that I want to provide you. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel with notification bell, and see you guys and girls next time. Bye!
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, doing no cap. Only God wants you.